Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's the Darkest Timeline podcast. So as I always say, you're stuck with me for the day. It's the Darkest Timeline, so it's basically me moaning and bitching for an hour or so. I think this one's not quite an hour, so you don't have to put up with it for that long. But check it out. This is the Cookiecast, the Darkest Timeline podcast. Right then. Ooh. These old bones. Oh, I'll put that in a horrible position. No surprises. See, these are the things that I should do before pressing record. Funnily, I never do. You look to be in a fine position. Hello, and welcome. This is I, Cookie. So, here we are, Darkest Timeline podcast. I can tell you that it's currently about 8 million degrees. So yes, I've got the window open. If you listen real closely, you can hear the fan of the laptop, and you can hear the road, I guess. It's not too bad. It was a little noisy earlier. Right. Plenty to be getting on with. I'll tell you now, not a lot of entertainment stuff this week. I feel very, out of the loop. I'm just looking now thinking, did I do a review of Rage 2? Probably no good asking that, nobody to answer. Right. So, let's talk about what's been going on. The other thing is, I'll tell you now, it's warm, so there'll be a lot of drinking in this episode. For example, I'm going to take a drink right now. Literally, not even minutes in, and he's already hitting the drink. 2 seconds. I was coding a podcast the other day, and there's a point where I'm drinking, and it's like, Jesus. That's all you can hear. It's terrible. So I feel sorry for you guys personally, but hey, what can you do? So, I'll tell you about something that happened to me in the last week. I went to... Right, let me dial it back a bit. I was at work. Edward Dench, podcast alum Edward Dench, was at work late, which is an unusual situation. Ed, why are you late? It makes me nervous. Oh, I'm waiting for a parcel. Oh, okay. What, like a man in a car is going to bring you a, quote unquote package, or what? No. Amazon. They said it'd be here by 6. Okay. Well, it's not here now, and presumably, You've still got a while until 6. Yeah, but I want it today. Why, what is it? Oh, it's a drone. I finally bought a drone. Alright, cool. Got to a point where I was like, Ed, I'm going to be here till 6. Why don't you go? And then if it arrives, text me and let me know, like, the code to get it. We've got the Amazon lockers at work. I was like, let me know the code. I'll get the parcel and I'll drop it round to you. Because I was like, at that time of night, straight around the bypass, no issues, drop it in, say hello, drop it off, problem solved. He was like, oh, I'll see. He went off, that was that. Just before I'm about to leave, I got a message from Ed. Oh, is that offer still available? I take it it's been delivered. Yeah, it's there now. I was like, yeah, no problem, I'll bring it. So he sent me the code. I went to the Amazon locker. Those Amazon locker things are cool. I think I'm actually banned from using them, which is a very strange story. I think one Christmas, I was expecting something to be delivered. It was a pair of boots for Leanne, and I was like, oh, where are these things supposed to have been delivered? And they just never got delivered. And I complained to Amazon, doing the usual, it's a gift, you've screwed me over. You keep saying you're going to deliver them. You keep saying you can't find where it is. It's a massive building. You can't miss it, sort of thing. And they sorted it out. The boots arrived. There was no major problem. It was just the fact that they kept failing to deliver them. But after that point, I could never select any of the Amazon lockers from any of the buildings, like the work buildings. So I was like, oh, maybe I've been banned from using them. Cool things. So I went, put in the number, door popped open, dragged this parcel out, a little bit heavier than I thought it was going to be. I was like, whoa, that's heavy. Walked to the car, a little bit of a walk, put the parcel in the car, jumped in the car, drove to bed. I was like, I'm on my way. He was like, oh, I'll stick the kettle on. I was like, trying to get back to do bedtime routine, but we'll see. Got there, it's like coffee, and I've set chairs up in the garden. It's like, okay, I won't stay long because I want to get back home. Ed was very excited about his parcel. Went out into the garden. Lovely evening, very much like it is now. Sunny, ever so slight breeze, all that sort of stuff. Summer's evening sort of thing. And I'm like, oh. So Ed had put out deck chairs. Isn't quite to me. Deck chair is the rainbow coloured, very very flimsy bits of wood. See it on a beach sort of thing. Not quite deck chairs. The material was more canvas for a start, and they looked slightly sturdier than a deck chair. However, when you're a man of my ample build, a chair that looks like that is like, well, that ain't gonna go well. I had visions of me just ending up on the floor. So I'm like, should probably just say to Ed, I'm alright to sit down, mate. I don't think the chair will take my weight. But I didn't. I was like, I was like, oh, sit down, I insist. I'm like, just say, alright, I don't think the chair will take my weight. But I didn't, again. That's twice. And then a little bit later, he was like, no, sit down, I insist. And I, instead of saying, I'm alright, Tara, I don't think the chair will take me, I sat down. Like a lunatic. I sat down. Let's face it, at this point in time, this whole situation, scenario, whatever, is only going to go one way. I lowered myself slowly into the chair, expecting any minute it was just going to explode into a million pieces. Anyway, I got in the chair, it didn't explode. So I'm sat. And I'm like, talking to Ed, having a chat, talking about various things. There was other stuff in his parcel. So he was opening various things, showing me various bits and bobs. They were all cool. Great. Had a coffee, and then I was like, right, it's time for me to be on my way. So I went to get out of the chair. That didn't go well. This was not happening. So here's where this situation turns from bad to embarrassing. So I'm like, oh no, I can't get out of the chair. Ed then gets up to help me out of the chair. Yeah, that's the level that we're at. Needing help to get out of this chair. I'm like, okay. So he grabs my arm, pulls. I do a bit more of a attempt to stand, and the inevitable happened. One side of the chair just crumbled. It was like it had been screaming for the half an hour that I'd been there, and it had had enough. So yeah, one side of this chair just collapsed. I broke one of the struts, one of the bits of wood, and the chair just fell to the ground. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I broke a chair. Because at the end of the day, I'm massively overweight. Ed, being Ed, I think he apologised to me, which I'm like, no, Ed, I broke your chair. I'll replace your chair. He's like, don't worry about it. It was a hand me down. I should have put sturdier chairs out. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, but I shouldn't be so fat. You know, I think of the blame. I think the blame firmly rested at my feet. But there was more to the story. What Ed didn't realise at this point in time was the combination of me trying to get out of the chair and the chair giving way and the angle that I was at or whatever. I hurt my back, which is not unusual for me. I'll get to that later. But I hurt my back in a way that I've never hurt my back. So if you think about like your shoulder blades, think about like the spine section that's in the middle. It was like the spine had rolled in, and whilst apologising and being like, Ed, I'm really sorry I broke a chair, I was also struggling to breathe through this back issue. So I'm sort of trying to exit the house and apologise and try to work out if I'm actually dying at this point because I can't breathe properly. Managed to get out of the house, was like, I honestly don't know what's happening right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I was in some pain, but yeah, couldn't breathe. Although it's one of those, I must have been able to breathe because it wasn't like I was, turning blue and gasping for air. But yeah, it was just weird. Went out, got in the car, was having trouble driving, ended up going around a mini roundabout and going from third to first by accident. I think that was through focusing on the pain and just being like, I don't know what's happening right now. Yeah, and anybody who drives can imagine what that sounded like. Going from third to first. Tyres screaming and the engine screaming and stuff. Went round a corner to find a magpie jumping around in the road, almost taunting me to run it over. I had to slow right down. And I'm like, wow. So this is what happens, when you do a good deed for someone. That wasn't it. I think me and Sam sort of joked around that's what you get for doing a good deed, and I was like, yeah, I'll never do a good deed for anyone ever again, sort of thing. Obviously, that is a joke. But yeah, kind of ironic that it was like, helping someone out and yeah, broke a chair, hurt my back, thought I was dying, couldn't breathe, terrible driving, and nearly killed a magpie. If anybody knows how much bad luck is involved in killing a magpie, I'd be very interested to know. I won't go into any horrific superstitions I have. So yeah, that was a thing that happened. So something else that happened. Me and Len were having a conversation, and we were talking about getting into shape and doing this and doing that, going for a run or whatever. So she got like, when you get super motivated all of a sudden, she's like, right, tomorrow I am going for a run at this point in time. So that is happening for definite. I'm going to go for a run, and that's that. And I'm like, cool. She's like, also, when I go for a run, you're going to do some press-ups and some sit-ups and things like that. So I'm like, okay, that sounds good. That's a good thing. Motivate each other. You go for a run. I'll do some press-ups, stuff I can do in the house. Stuff that I used to do a lot when I was like running every day and all that sort of stuff. I'd finish by coming back and doing a load of exercises at home. Oh yeah, good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. One of those things, for one reason or another, Leanne didn't go for a run. However, I did do some exercise. And to say some exercise is a bit of an overestimate on that one. I did 10 press-ups. So for me to do 10 press-ups, it's lifting quite a large amount, and I haven't done any press-ups in a really long time. But, to give me my dues, I did 10 press-ups cold. I was in the dining room, I just dropped down to the floor, 10 press-ups, got back up, went about my day. So that was that. The next day, I wake up, I'm like, what is the pain in my side? It's one of those things, I'll come to this in a minute, but I'm getting a bit older now. So everything, absolutely everything, means I'm dying. Any pain, I'm dying. Anything it could possibly be, I'm dying. So pain in my side, I'm like, my kidneys are shutting down, or it's liver failure. I'm almost definitely dying. So I'm like, what the hell is this pain? Well, it was bad. It was painful. Did ease once I got up and stuff, but I woke up with it. It was the right hand side. Honestly, don't know which side's which for kidneys and liver and things like that. But it was the right hand side. So whichever organ was failing, that was that. So I'm like, okay, I'm dying. Cool. That pain eased. That was that. The next day, I'm like, obviously I suffer badly with hay fever. This time of year is amazing, and I'm sneezing, and when I sneeze, my stomach hurts. I'm like, oh my god, this could be to do with that pain that I had yesterday. Oh my god, this organ shut down, and now it's worked its way onto the organs around it, and I've got like internal organ failure because I'm old and I'm dying. But there was a little part of me that was like, hang on a minute, this pain. This pain is familiar. Just a little part of me. Nothing, I didn't dwell on it at that point in time. But, one or two sneezing fits later, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm in so much pain. Oh man, my stomach, I'm in a lot of pain. It's my, and I know how this will sound, and I'm very much aware of the possibilities of this. But I was like, oh my god, it's my abs. My abs hurt. That's why I know that pain. To give a little bit of background, when I was training every day, at any point in time, obviously I've had in the last 5 years, I've had like 2 sort of bouts of like training stuff. Not training for anything, just training to get in shape. Rounds of shape, yeah. When I used to do a lot of sit-ups, a lot of press-ups, a lot of running, my abs used to hurt. When I went from doing that to doing ab exercises every day, because abs are the only muscle group that are exempt from overtraining, so you can do abs every single day. I would work abs every day. I went to the gym, or whatever I was doing, work the abs. I was like, my god, I know this pain. This is ab pain. This isn't organs shutting down. This is ab pain. Around about this point that my arms started hurting. I'm like, what the hell are my arms hurting? My arms hurt like I've been lifting weights, or... And around about that point in time, I went, holy smokes. Ab pain, arm pain. I did those press-ups. So, basically, I did 10 press-ups cold, and for about a week, and this is no joke, this is no, I'm not making it bigger than it is, none of that. This is honestly what happened. For about a week, I felt the effects of those 10 press-ups. To me, that's one of those things I'm like, well, that's just a sign of how horrifically out of shape you are. Another aspect of it was that I was like, the effect that, like, my arms hurt, my abs hurt, it was like 10 press-ups, and it was just like, it was interesting to experience, to see how just that small amount of actual exercise and what effect that had, and how it went on for like a week. It was crazy, absolutely crazy, but very interesting nonetheless. So yeah, 10 press-ups and a week of dealing with it. So yeah, that was something that I thought I'd share. Hurt my back. I wrote this on my list. Hurt back. Big capital letters. Again. So, obviously by now we know that I've had recently a few back issues, which is it's great. It's amazing. I can't stress enough how wonderful it is. So the other day, so it was my birthday. That's what I was getting at earlier. It was my birthday. At this point in time, there's very few games. Well, there are no games out. There's very little in the way of movies that are out. There's just nothing out and about. Lan said to me, I've been talking about some t-shirts. So Lan was like, look, if you want some t-shirts, you can have them for your birthday. So I'm like, cool. So I found a load of t-shirts that I wanted, and she ordered them, and they turned up. She was like, oh, you never looked through those t-shirts. Do you want to do it now? Yeah, cool. I'll have a look, make sure they're right. Incidentally, they weren't. But that's a whole different story. Well, no, it's the same story. I pulled out the first t-shirt, and although, yes, it's a great t-shirt, because I already own it, that's how I know it's a great t-shirt, definitely wasn't in the order, and the sticker that was on it was for a completely different t-shirt. I'm like, oh goody, we're off to a cracking start, because this bag is full of t-shirts, and the first one's wrong. As it was, that was the only one that was wrong, quote unquote wrong. So basically there was just a t-shirt missing. All the stickers on all the t-shirts were wrong, but it turned out we got one that I've already got, and we didn't get one that we'd ordered. She contacted the company. Not brilliant customer service, I must say. Took a little while to get back to us. Then they were a bit like jumped through a couple of hoops. But then admittedly, they've said nothing about sending the wrong one back, and they have sent the right one since. So there you go. So I'm, panicking that this order's wrong, going through this bag. 2 t-shirts left in the bag. The bag is on the sofa. I am stood up. I ever so slightly bend to get the t-shirts out, and my back goes. And I lose my shit. I absolutely lost my shit. I was so angry, because all I kept saying at that point in time was, you have got to be kidding me. I wasn't lifting a car. I wasn't not bending from the knees. I wasn't trying to... I wasn't doing anything. I bent ever so slightly to get something out of a bag on the sofa, and my back went, and I was in agony, and I just lost it. Since then, it's been awful. This has got to be the worst it's ever been, because it's not just my back. So I've no idea what's going on. I've even considered going to see a doctor at this point in time, which says a lot. I know that it's sciatica. I know it's connected to the whole sciatic nerve thing. But basically, I've got this thing where my back hurts, which is making my right foot numb. And I mentioned this to Tom, and he was like, you need to get that sorted, mate, because chiropractors will always ask you, the first question is, does your back hurt like this? And is your foot numb? As it is, my foot is still numb. In the last couple of days, there's been a couple of points when it's been okay. I can feel it now. It's felt like it's been full of fluid, which I've experienced before when I've had leg tattoos. Your foot just like swells because it's full of fluid, and then steadily drains over the course of a week, and it goes back to normal. So it's been a bit like that. Walking's difficult, sitting's difficult, standing's difficult, lying down difficult. And I think this is all connected to the back pain, which, yay, a whole new aspect to add to this awful thing. And obviously, I've said before, and when I talked before about back issues, if I went to a doctor, the first thing the doctor's going to say to me is, you need to lose some weight. It's like, yeah, I know. So, anyway, back pain, foot pain, goody gumdrops. If anybody was like, oh my god, you need to go and see a doctor immediately, leave me a comment, because I'm probably just going to leave it. So yeah, did I say it was my birthday? So yeah, it was my birthday. I was old. Not as old as Tom told everybody I was, but nearly. So you know, what's in a year? What's a year between friends? But yeah, it was my birthday, and to mark the occasion, I did the one thing that I do once a year now, which ironically, not ironically, but which if you compare it to, 6-7 years ago, it's very different, is I went and had a round of golf. Me, Tom, Tim, we had a round of golf, which was lovely. I've been playing a lot of the golf club game, so I felt truly ready for an actual round of golf. Me and Tom went and hit some balls at a driving range, and then a few days later we had our round. So both of those were enjoyable, really good time. It's one of those things. Every year it's the same. So, never play golf through the first half of the year. I get to my birthday, I'm like, right, I'm itching for a round of golf. Let's go have a round of golf. Play pretty much the same every year. I lost a ball, I think. Still never got the driver out of the bag, because after going to the driving range and hitting some balls with the old driver, just cannot get that club under control. So I'd rather, as I've always said, I'd rather hit it 80 yards straight and hit 2 of those than hit 150 yards on 3 fairways away. So yeah, it was nice. We went, we hit some balls on their driving range before we teed off for the round. Played around. No surprises, Tom won. Tim came second and I came last. Don't care, other than the fact that it was a good round of golf. Nice day weather-wise and stuff. It was warm. And then we had something to eat. So yeah, that was all good. Got home, went to collect the girls, went out for tea, met people from work. We all had tea and stuff, and yeah, it was nice. Went to Ed's in the evening. It was a good day, but as I say, the recent the recent development of, oh my god, I'm old, I'm going to die. It seems to be really like, I've never had an issue with age. I've never had an issue with getting older, another year older, all of that nonsense. It really is something that I've never had an issue with. But this year, like I say, every ache and pain, I'm dying. I'm old now, so I'm dying. So yeah. Me and Lan had a condition. She was like, do you want a cake? And I was like, the problem with the cake is it's alright having a cake on the day, but then you've got cake left. She was like, well, why don't you have cake but then take it with you when you go to Ed's for the evening, and then you can share it out, and then we don't have cake left. So yeah, forgot to take the cake with me. So not only did I not have any cake like until later in the evening, we ended up with a whole cake. No surprises where that went. In my belly. Hey, it was my birthday. I'm allowed a bit of cake. So yeah, it was birthday time. And I got old, and there was cake and golf, and cigars, and all the good stuff that goes with birthdays. No drinking. Yeah, no, I didn't drink. I made a note about something, but I'm going to talk about that later. So, what do you want next? Do you want to talk about the massive lull in games? So, like I say, birthday. What game do I want for my birthday? Well, there aren't any, so that makes a big difference. There was a game that I wanted. I was kind of trying to track it down and hunt it down and stuff. But it's a game. Games have a tendency to do this thing that they kind of drop out of circulation. I think they sort of don't get produced anymore. Then you have to rely on the second-hand market, and I think it gets to a point where, like, anybody who wants the game owns it. So the people that then want it later on can't get a copy. So I was after a game, and like Amazon were like, yeah, we'll sell you a copy for £45. It's like, this game's been out for years, I'm not going to give you that much money for it. I was trying to find it second hand sort of thing. No joy, so there was that. There were no games out. Literally, there are no games out. We're at that part of the... I'd like to say we're at that part of the year, but it just feels like we're at that part of this generation of the console that there's just nothing available. And you often get people going, oh, but there's this to look forward to. It's like, yeah, that's going to be rubbish. Oh, are we excited for the new Call of Duty, people? Yay. So there's just no games. I've been playing... I was playing the golf club, which came with... The games were gold. Is that what they're called these days? The free games you get on Xbox Live. That very enjoyable. I always say playing the golf club's like playing an actual round of golf, because it's very different to like your Tiger Woods or the Rory McIlroy. Because it's just, there's no, like, you can't spin the ball and there's no power shots and stuff. You just swing the club like you would on the golf course. And then it's all about, you know, I can drop a shot here if I club up and things like that. So that was money well saved, because I've been really enjoying playing that. And I've been playing Ghost Recon, because I started Ghost Recon again. I've been playing through that, and that is literally it. I saw a thing about they're releasing, or have released, a free DLC for Spider-Man, where you can get the 2 costumes from the new Spider-Man movie. So I think I'm going to download those. Might have a little play on Spider-Man maybe. But you know, these are games I've already played. There's just nothing out there. Oh no, I played and finished My Friend Pedro. Did not play that game to its fullest. By the back end of it, I wasn't doing any of the stuff you're supposed to do. No flips, no slow motion, no nothing. I just played it as a side-scrolling shooter. Scored very low on the levels and stuff, but got through it, and I did finish it. There was a couple of points in that game that they're rage-inducing. Literally just before you fight the final boss, there's a section, and it was like, how on earth do they expect you to do this? And I think it took me the best part of an hour to muddle through that bit, with a lot of swear words involved. So yeah, I played and finished my friend Pedro. That was an absolute bargain at the end of the day. It was £18 on the Switch. I think it's 15 quid on the PC. Well worth it. If you have either of those either the Switch or a PC, I thoroughly recommend picking up my friend Pedro. Well worth the money. And I think its replay factor is probably quite high because I've already started it again to try and do the flips and the tricks and the slow-mo stuff and see if I can get better rating on each level, which of the levels I've played again, I have managed to get a slightly better rating. So I sort of keep going back to that, I think. Oh, excuse me. But as far as games are concerned, there's nothing. Which, you know, is always nice. Right, what's left to cover? I've talked about the game, lol. I got some films. I got some films for my birthday. Got some films. A DC animated movie. Got a couple of other films. Did I get anything else? No, because I wanted... Oh dear, excuse me. I wanted Shazam on 4K. And when I looked, it wasn't out for my birthday. I think it comes out at the beginning of August or something. So I'll have to try and see about picking that up. So yeah, that was kind of the only film I was really looking forward to. Again, I think Leanne was a bit like, there's literally nothing available. There's nothing, there's no films, there's no games. That's why I ended up with a load of t-shirts. T-shirts are cool. I love t-shirts. But yeah, there's nothing out. And the only film, like I say, wasn't out in time. The other thing I'm finding is that there's just no time to watch a film. I mean, that's not true. I think there's been a couple of points recently where I've found myself wasting time, which is never good. There's a million other things I could be doing. Yeah, I don't know what to say on that one. I've been really, really tired recently, which is something that I'm trying to sort out. Never easy, but I am trying to sort that out. So, you know, I haven't watched any films because I feel I haven't got the time, but I probably have got the time. But I don't know, maybe there's other things going on. Maybe I'm dying. Because I'm old, you know. Did I tell you? I'm old now, so I'm dying. The only thing that I've got left to cover on this is me and Mr. Rafton, Rob Rafton, podcast alum, 5-time podcast champion, something like that, had an agreement that we were going to go to the gym. Rob's been saying for a little while, oh, you know, we should go on a lunchtime. Tom goes on a lunchtime. Excuse me. Tom goes on a lunchtime. Rob was like, let's go on a lunchtime. And it's got to that point now that, you know, we go for a wander and we wander over to Asda. I'm a bit like, I've been trying to cut down on my unnecessary spending. So there's been a few times we've gone to Asda and I'm like, I don't need anything. You know, I need, you know, it's good to get out of the building and it's good to get some fresh air, and a walk's always good, bit of exercise, but I don't often need stuff from Asda these days. So it's just for the walk. So we were in agreement that we were going to go to the gym on Monday. So I'm like, cool, this is perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. I get to go back to the gym with someone, bit of motivation. It's great. I checked with her. I was like, we're definitely going on Monday. Yeah. Bring your stuff. We're going on Monday. Cool. Let's do it. Monday came. I packed a very large gym bag. What I mean by that is usually when I went to the gym, my bag was empty. It'd have like my key fob and like a mini towel, some earphones in. because I'd be wearing my gym kit. I was going at like 11, 12 o'clock at night. So I was wearing what I was going to be wearing in the gym. But when you pack a gym bag, it was like all my gym stuff was in it. My gym kit was in it. Because we were going on lunchtime, I was taking a towel and shower gel, deodorant, body spray, all that sort of stuff. All of the bits and bobs that you'd ever possibly need to go to the gym. So I packed this big bag, put it in the boot of the car. Oh, Jesus. It was like, right, I'm set. I hurt my back. It was probably the Sunday. Hurt my back. Monday, go to work. Rob, I've hurt my back, but I've still bought my gym kit because I think, I power through it. Okay. Rob's like, if you've hurt your back, you probably don't want to be going to the gym. Oh. Well, I thought I was going to power through, but I guess not. So that was basically that. The gym kit stayed in the car. It was a bit of an anticlimax. I was totally ready and geared up to go back to the gym. And as it is at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I can confirm that I've still not been to the gym. Again, as each day, week, whatever passes, I do keep saying, I'm definitely ready to go back to the gym. I know some of you are probably thinking, well, why didn't you just go on your own? You used to go on your own. You're used to going on your own as well. But yeah, I kind of sort of geared myself up to go with someone. So I was a bit like, and he was right. I had hurt my back. I didn't know whether I was going to end up doing more damage or what. So yeah, unfortunately, I cannot report that I have been to the gym. Who knows? Maybe that'll change. But yeah, so that is the week that was. I got older. Definitely no wiser. That's faux show. But I did get older. And like I keep saying, now I'm dying. I'm probably dead right now. No, that's not true. But yeah, lots of aches and pains, which obviously mean the end times are near. Cheery. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. If you have tuned in, thank you for listening. If you are still listening, I know the podcast has gone through a bit of a shift. I'm trying not to moan about stuff. I realised listening to all those podcasts with me just bitching and moaning about terrible drivers, it was just super negative. I could tell you a story about a driver this morning who, went in the right hand lane to get in front of everyone else, and then decided to drift between two lanes to make sure that nobody could possibly get past them. Maybe they were a BMW driver. Who knows? But yeah, like I say, the podcast is going through a bit of a shift because I didn't want it to be negative. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to say goodbye. Hopefully see you next week when we can discuss whether I've been to the gym or not. All the games that are definitely going to be out by then. How many films I'll have watched. And which ailment I've got by then. Who knows? Maybe I'll still be back. Let's see together, shall we? Right, there we go. Thank you very much, and I will see you later. Bye. So there you go. What do you think of that? Another one in the bag. Another week gone. Another week closer to whatever it is you're looking forward to. YouTube watchers, not much to watch this time, but there's the odd picture here and there. Make sure you're subscribing. Click the bell for notifications. All that good stuff. Everybody jump over to the Cookiecast.com, check us out over there, send us some social media love, send us an email, tell us when you're going to come on the podcast and educate us with whatever it is you know. So yeah, another one done, another one in the bag, and until next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then. Bye!